Well, the results of the presidential election putting Donald Trump back in the White House that has people reacting on both sides today. Joining me live right now, Dr. Nolan Higdon, CSU East Bay lecturer in history and media studies. So let's start with breaking down what happened last night. The Harris campaign was banking on a blue wall to go through all those battleground states, but instead we saw a bit of a red wave. So what was the message from the Trump campaign that convinced voters to choose Republican?
Yeah, I think the election last night really had a lot of remnants of the 2016 election. That is, that Trump ran against the liberal Democrat agenda, as he would call it, and focused on issues of economy and immigration, a little bit about free speech, censorship. And those really seem to resonate with folks, particularly in rural areas. And I think one of the most interesting things on the Trump map is that he not only controlled the areas that he controlled in 2016 and 2020 with a lot of rural and working class voters, but he actually made more gains. So every time Trump runs, he seems to be able to find more support amongst that part of the electorate, which traditionally doesn't turn out unless he's on the ballot.
And we're expecting to hear from Kamala Harris within the next hour or so. So what is the tone and what can we expect her to say about the election and about moving forward?
I think Vice President Harris has an unenviable position. She was thrown into a campaign with just over 100 days, so she had to create a campaign while running one. So I'm sure she has some frustration with her party. Clearly, she has some frustration with Trump. And she's expected to come out and concede the election. This is probably also difficult for her, given that Trump still has not conceded the last election. So I imagine she's probably going to try and set a tone to make her supporters feel appreciated for all they did for her campaign, do her best to try and unite the country behind the new president, and try to feed into those good vibes and joy, as she called it, of her campaign, even though it's very difficult for a lot of her supporters to stomach the outcome.
And really quick, for the past several election cycles, we've seen this very sharp divide, this polarization of politics. What can we expect for the next 4 years under Trump's second administration?
I think it's going to be a little bit different. Trump may win, if not very competitively, looking at the popular vote right now, which he did not have in 2016 when he took office. So I think it was a lot easier to kind of dismiss his victory as a fluke. But Trump really showed some political ability here. He was able to deepen his support. He was able to come back from January 6th, where many members of his own party basically disowned him. He overcame the felony charges, felony counts, mishandling of COVID. This was a major, major political victory for Trump. And I think he's going to take that as a mandate and take that into the White House as a way to say, look, the people are behind me. Here's what I want to do.
Okay, well, Dr. Nolan Hickman from CSU East Bay, thank you very much. Always great to have you on. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.